Just be like, hey, we're back. This is episode number 2 here with the unnamed show. So we today we're just kind of trying to go over some of the mistakes we made in the first one and discuss some of the things we can improve and where we want to go from there. Um, yeah, I was. What'd you think of what you saw? I think I sent you the full edited version. So
Yeah.
you
I mean, I've already done the thing I was gonna say I did poorly, but I noticed for me at least, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable to hear yourself talk. It's like there's no way I sound like that when you listen to yourself talk, and then you have to accept it. I definitely noticed that I take a lot of long breaks, and I use a lot. So that definitely stuck out when you're listening to yourself talk. It's kind of painful to hear that. And it feels like I talk really slow too. Like that was another thing
I
that
didn't
seemed
I didn't
weird.
notice it. Maybe it's like you're harder on yourself, but like for me, I felt like I said like I said I think I felt like I said 3 likes to every one of your likes. Like I was like
Oh,
the
I don't
filler
know.
word is just like my go-to. So I was like, oh, that needs some work.
It reminds me of I don't know. It's funny because we talked about being in like the corporate world and like getting away from that, and I think there's just so much ingrained corporate like softening. Like I think I do that where it's just like you're like talking with someone at work and you just like soften it by like I don't know. I'm also probably an idiot, so don't like disregard. But so I definitely noticed that when I was talking, it was just like there was no definitive statements. Everything was just okay. So that
Yeah, I
definitely
felt
stuck
like we
out.
were also like we could have gone on more like tangents. Like it's our own like we can talk about whatever we want, but it was like kind of like a work meeting.
I thought it was kind of boring too. That was the
Yeah,
other thing I thought too. I was just like, man, I thought we were like kind of interesting. Like we talked about not wanting to be like a podcast of Asperger's, Silicon Valley guys, and then we were just like dumb Asperger's,
look at my slides, and
like,
then I will let's stay on topic on the agenda.
yeah, we were like a tech bro who's not good at tech. So yeah, it was not the. I don't know. I thought it was kind of like when I was listening to it, I was like, okay, I got to listen to this so I know what to work on, and I was just like so bored. So that definitely stuck out too. That I was just like, Jesus Christ, like this is harder than I thought it was gonna be to not be the most boring person ever.
I think that's why we're practicing. So hopefully it'll get better. That's if we're not getting better, then that's the problem. But
Yeah.
the other thing, yeah, I noticed my mic was way off too. Like I'm trying to hold it not as close to my face because I was like my mic was all over the
What
place.
do you have
So
for a mic? Like I can't even see what you're using.
uh, it's a J Lab something. I don't
Okay.
know. I looked it up last year and it was on like the tech review things and it just said good rating, so I just bought it. But I'm thinking I might try to find one that's actually good.
Yeah, like I hold mine close to my mouth, probably too close. I don't know, but I do know that for some reason my audio always comes out rather quiet. But um,
Well, it came out pretty good. So I think mine was just loud because I could adjust the audio tracks.
yeah, okay.
So we can get into that, but it's like the editing was actually way harder than I thought. So I spent like probably 6 hours trying to
Oh
struggle with
damn.
this. And it was like, so I got the new Final Cut Pro 11, which
Yeah.
just came out. And it's actually pretty cool. It's got like AI features and stuff for like adding the masks and stuff for like pixelating and whatever because we're hiding our faces because we're embarrassed. But
They're so boring.
it's just
we
we have
would
to hide this in case our moms find it and they'd be our only 2 listeners.
yeah, I mean that's
Um,
too many probably.
but yeah, like my computer is also struggling. Like I got a MacBook Air M1 and it's usually pretty quick at everything. And it was like really laggy. So
That's
I'll have to
interesting.
figure something out.
I do know because I use Adobe Audition and if it's just audio files, it's really easy for me. But I know you were editing with video too, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was the video, and I think it was that masking was slowing things down. But also, like, I don't think I'm going to stick with Final Cut. I think it's we want something that we can both share the editing
Yeah.
files between us. I guess I can adopt Adobe if you love it. I just hate Adobe as they're just like the mafia with like their
No,
monthly
I
subscription.
definitely like Adobe Audition's like $30 a month. So I use it very rarely. So I wouldn't mind getting off it if there's like a better option.
Well, there's like DaVinci Resolve. I've used the free version.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but I think we would definitely need to upgrade for things like there's just like quality of life AI things like again the masking feature and captions are two big ones. But
Yeah.
I know a lot of people use that, so we can maybe experiment with it. But yeah, so editing was a hurdle that I did not expect to be this hard. So
Yeah.
I haven't done it before, so it was very, very challenging, and I felt like I'd never used a computer before.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I can definitely take a shot at the next edit, or we can kind of work together. Like, I would probably I do use Adobe Premiere, so I'd probably keep using that.
Yeah,
I did just get a new laptop, so I'm curious. I do know like my old laptop was slow, so it made editing videos tough. So hopefully it's a lot better with this.
yeah, I
Like,
don't know how you could possibly edit a video on that last one because you
yeah, it
couldn't
was
even share
ridiculous.
your screen on Zoom.
Yeah, no, I know it was ridiculous, but now this should be a lot better. So, yeah, I can definitely take a shot at that for sure. But yeah, no, I don't know how to do that blurring thing, so I'd have to work on that. But I do want to
I'm sure
blur
they're
it
going to
given
add a
how,
feature like
yeah,
that though. Like everyone's adding AI stuff,
yeah,
but I don't know how good Adobe's is.
yeah. But yeah, I think overall, like listening to it, yeah, editing's tough. Being interesting is tough. Not being boring is tough. Not talking like a girl from the valley's tough. It's like I don't know. It's all tough, is what I realized.
Like you know how it is. Like it's just
Yeah.
really, really hard.
So it's I don't know.
That's
There's
what we're practicing.
what did you say last time that the bar was on the floor and we still tripped on it?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's it's a challenge. What did you think of? So I just added a quick intro. Obviously, I just made that up with like what the B-roll clips we had. But I was thinking like we might want to start like if we ever do come up with something interesting to talk about at any point, we could like clip that and add it to the start. I've seen um like podcasts do that. It's kind of interesting. It's like kind of like they'll put it right at the start, so like sound clip, and then they'll do like a little intro and then jump into the actual convo. I think it's kind of like a hook to get people like, hey, there's actually something interesting that happens. You just have
yeah.
to wait
So you're
30
talking
minutes
like a new
or
clip every time, or like just like our
well,
greatest hit?
just like a clip from that convo. So it's
Oh,
just like
I gotcha.
something interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then like we'd have like some uniform or not uniform, but like some song that we'd use every time or intro or whatever, like afterwards.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look into that. I don't know if you did, but
No, like I was yeah, I mean I my thoughts early on is that like if it's like a song people like, it's like I mean obviously you don't just want to take like a very popular song because then eventually you might have to deal with the fact that it's copyrighted and then like I don't know if we put it on YouTube. I don't know if Spotify works if they take things down. But like um fuck I'm doing it again. But yeah, we could use like as a placeholder for now, just like some sort of if we think there's a song that kind of goes along with our mood board or whatever, and then like maybe interlace that with some clips or something like that. Even like any quote that like doesn't even come from us. Like I think that could be interesting, but I haven't gone down the path. But that was kind of like where my head was at, like for now. I know you talked about using like AI to generate music, which we could try. I don't know if you went into that at all.
what kind of quotes are you thinking? Like a lion doesn't care about the opinions
Yeah,
of sheep.
exactly. Something darker, like maybe a Dark Knight quote, perhaps, or a Joker quote.
That could work too.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to go through names? I wrote down a few, but they're terrible, but they're more keyword stuff because I know we didn't want to like lean in too hard to the I think we were leaning towards like trying our best, which
Yeah.
it does make me laugh, so I kind of like that. But then I've also if this ever does it evolve into something where we want to like get guests, it's I don't know how easy that works. They just hey, we want to come on our podcast called Trying Our Best.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely does feel a little like like there's something wrong with us, which maybe is a
Which is
apt one.
true.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I do. It's like we talked about last time, where it's like the thing I would hate would be like just like the full name podcast of like our full names or something like that, where it's just like so serious or something like I don't know, the startup incubator Bitcoin podcast. Like So I do think trying our best really is like the antithesis of that, which I think is interesting and it's kind of funny and it's kind of memorable. Um, I guess the question is if it like makes us seem too retarded and like not like people wouldn't want to come on and be associated with it, which is a good segue into all my other name suggestions because they're also like very stupid and are of the same vein. So yeah, I mean, I just kind of like I don't even want to say them now, actually.
We'll have a stupid contest here.
So I just quickly wrote down a few. Like one I had was Run Your Hardest, which was like, I mean, I feel like it could get confused with like a running podcast or something, but it's like,
you're going to say run your heart out for a second.
No, Run Your Hardest, which is like kind of similar to Trying Our Best, but it's just like, I guess it's like playing on the idea of, I don't know, just like something silly, but like also has some, like if we are wanting to talk to guests who are trying to do stuff, trying to be innovative, things like that, then like maybe makes some sense, but it's also kind of stupid. Another one I put just because I have this shirt and I like the album, I put Ride the Lightning, which like is probably taken, but like, I don't know. It's always just like a fun phrase that's like kind of funny, but like kind of cool. But it could skew a little too much into the like serious bro-y kind of vibe, which I don't know. I don't think that's either of us are going for it. Like I think you would really have to offset it with like some graphics that are kind of a little more lighthearted or whatever. That was another one I had. One I had was the Having Fun podcast, which is probably like the most retarded one, but like that was another one I had. And then I had Fun Times with Friends, which again of the same light of just like very, very like silly and very lighthearted. But yeah, obviously going with the angle of like lighthearted conversations, kind of.
Yeah. So I was like kind of stuck. So I put some into Chat GPT. So I was like, let me see. Help me brainstorm names for a podcast about two friends trying to start creative businesses in art. And so the first one it gave me was Side Hustle Soulmates.
That's kind of funny.
Paint Plan Prosper.
What was it?
Sketchy Beginnings. I don't know. I thought they were kind of funny. Paint Plan Prosper. Dreamers and Doers. So anyways, I was getting a little frustrated.
Sketchy Beginnings is kind of funny.
What else did it have? It had Partners in Paint, Collab and Conquer.
Like a gay painters podcast or
something. So anyways, I kept digging, but then just adding to some of the other ones, kind of like All Systems Go version 0 or version 1, like kind of trying to get to like, this is just, we're starting, or like things that are like really like grassroots level. Under construction, rough draft, proof of concept, half baked, uncontrolled chaos, a version maybe, not quite ready, not a podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still think like Trying Our Best kind of like, there's something about that sticks for me. I mean, not quite ready kind of was probably the one that stood out the most for me.
Yeah, Not Quite Ready, I think is pretty good. I thought Sketchy Beginnings is kind of interesting too.
It's a little funny.
Yeah. Gay Painters podcast. What was that one? Partners in Paint.
Partners in Paint.
Partners in Paint. Yeah, I mean, I think those are good. Like, I'd probably have to think on it of what would be, I don't know what's the best one or what feels right, but
yeah, I think so. I'm thinking maybe we just take like 2 or 3 and just like show it to people and just say, hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are going to get it, but
yeah,
maybe we just pick one and go with it. Honestly, it's like who's really listening to this? Like, if we're honest, it's
well,
probably
millions
not
people eventually.
It's kind of like the you'll hear like there'll be like engineers like, and they're like so obsessed with like optimizing their like app for like millions of users, and then it's like 10 people use it. It's just like not a problem.
No, I do agree. I do hope like yes, there's no aspiration that it's like a million listeners or anything, but if the aspiration is to like meet people and get people on, then I think like in my mind, just having like somewhat interesting angle that we're coming at it from, where and like I probably the name and then like the logo and the web design and stuff like that is going to be like that entryway, so people don't think we're just morons and they wouldn't want to be associated with us. So, yeah, I
Click
guess
on
I'll
the website, but don't listen to anything.
yeah. Here are the episodes. Listen on mute. But yeah, so I don't know. That's my only thought, that like that with that in mind, it's like what would be a name and then like associate identity that would like maybe appeal to these type of people that we're trying to appeal to, and not listeners, I guess, but like potential guests.
Yeah, like potential interesting guests. Yeah, it's kind of where I thought like version 0 or like rough draft or things like that, where they kind of like communicate what it's about. But
What was
yeah,
the
we
other one?
can.
Sketchy beginnings, and then there's another one you said.
I said a bunch.
It was near
Let's
the
see.
end.
Not a podcast
That one, but then there was
or not quite ready.
yeah, not quite ready. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they're interesting. Were those ones Chat GBT or did you come up with them?
Those ones I think I came up with based on my conversation through ChatGPT, but it did get better. So once I started asking it questions of like telling it no, don't be cringy,
Yeah,
then it started coming up. And then it also helped if you gave it examples where it was like, for example, like I don't know, like a streetwear brand,
Yeah.
Off White or something like that.
Yeah,
Then it
yeah.
like started giving better examples, but like to start, it was a little rough.
yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, I think those. I think you kind of cheated, but those are still.
It's called working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I don't know. I think those are all like potentially worth exploring. Not all of them. Some of them were bad. Mine were pretty bad, but at least we have some.
Click them up. All of them were good.
Like, let's start 20 podcasts. But yeah, I think we can. I think we have a few that we can potentially run with, or at least narrow down to.
Yeah, yeah.
So with that said, if you had to narrow it down to 3, like to me, the most interesting ones are trying our best, not quite ready, and then yeah, I would have to think of maybe sketchy beginnings would probably be the other one that sticks out to me. What would be your top 3 right now?
Yeah, I think the top 2 would definitely be not quite ready or trying our best. And yeah, there's not really one. The third one would be if we take a kind of a different approach of being a little more like straightforward, just like rough draft or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I don't know. I don't really love that. There's something about it just feels too serious.
Yeah, it does feel a little serious.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the other thing, so I added in that I don't know if you saw. I shared that note with you, right? So I've just been dropping stuff in our Apple note.
Which one was it?
Did I text it to you?
I do. Sorry, we're doing this in real time. Yeah, so I see you edited.
Okay.
Which section?
Yeah, so I've just been dropping things in there. You can use it if you want or not. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just easier to write stuff in Apple Notes for me because I've got my phone on me.
Yeah. I mean, I see the Mark Zuckerberg metaverse photo, which is very funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was like, it would be kind of funny if we could just use those like avatar things and like have like just have. I thought it'd be fun if we had that with it's like our podcast studio, but I looked into it a little bit. But I think you need the goggles, but anyways, I thought it would just be kind of funny.
We have to send a pair of goggles to every guest.
Yeah, that's the other problem. I was like, so I think actually you can. So I got that like workroom thing where people can call in on Zoom and it just like appears on the TV screen in the workroom. But maybe this is too ambitious for us right now because given how much trouble I had with editing, I'm trying
The
to,
workroom thing you're talking about, this thing.
yeah.
So then we all would just have like a avatar sitting on a.
It would be funny if we get avatars and we don't have to do the like face blurring
Yeah, that's
thing.
true. That's true.
And then it's also the other thing I was thinking is like for certain guests, especially for going after people who are maybe not as established, they might also be hesitant to appear on camera.
So I guess
And
my
I think it's all,
question with that though is like, how would it make sense though? Because like if we were like, you started this business like anonymous, but it's like super like I don't know. Like, are you saying they'd want to stay anonymous or like just not be on camera?
oh no, I think it's just like people like on camera. It's like, oh, you gotta
Oh,
like,
okay. I gotcha.
would be like, oh, I have to like do my hair.
I gotcha. Yeah, I thought you were saying like you keep them anonymous and be like, so you started this anonymous restaurant. Like, what
So
was that?
you
Like,
help people
in a city in North
open
America?
bank accounts, offshore bank accounts.
So
Anymore.
okay, that makes more sense. That like if people just don't want to be on camera because it's like more intense.
Yeah, I just thought maybe it's, and then it's also if we're trying to like, while we have jobs, keep it like anonymous. Then it's like kind of awkward if you're like blurred or whatever, but they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. You also had the other post in there of the like the Pokemon battle.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if this is showing up, but
you have to go up. But yeah, no, yeah. I was just the thought with that was like, so for the template, like you can make templates, and then we would sort crop everybody's video, and then so you'd have the videos on different parts of the screen.
yeah.
And I was thinking maybe that's, I don't know, just kind of a gimmick for like making it more visually interesting at without much effort. But I don't know. That was
So are we
me
like
and-
versing the guests? Is that,
Yeah, we can do that way.
are we versing each other? Yeah, no, I think it's like yeah, we could just have something that's like a little more interesting than I know I mentioned the idea of just like having like emojis like running across the screen or like something stupid
Yeah.
like that.
I just don't know how to do that. But if you do, then
I do know one of my friends knows how, so I might be able to figure it out. But yeah, just like something
why
that.
not?
Sorry.
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. That like just have something that's like a little weird, that's a little interesting that we can post.
Because I also think too, it's just like a lot of this stuff, like you can see with TikTok, it's like these people who are making tons of money live streaming and like mimicking emoji stickers or whatever that people get. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah. But it's just like I think there's something in people's like the human brain where it's like a loop, or it's like so, even if it's just like bouncing around screen is somehow engaging, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's a good call. Yeah, I'm just looking at this one podcast I know we had referenced where it's like someone started a podcast in Calgary where they interview like CEOs of companies in Calgary, and like on YouTube all he has is like just like an image of the person and that's it.
yeah,
Which is like fine. Like obviously he's just posting the audio file with it, but
yeah.
I think it's more interesting if we just had something, because I don't even expect people like they're not going to be like looking at it for like the entirety of the interview, but like I also think it helps add to the vibe that we're not like a serious business podcast.
I also think everything now is so video based. Like, look at TikTok's dominance. Like, everyone's got short form video now.
Yeah.
All the podcasts now have video built into Spotify. YouTube's becoming a big platform for audio. Like, I think it's just necessary, even if people are just keeping it open and setting on on their table.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of necessary at this point. And plus, we need all the points we can get to be engaging. I think we just if we remove visual, that we just got audio, and as you can see, that needs some practice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. There's something else, but I already forgot what it was. Oh, that was so the other problem I had was sharing files. So it's like after I finished editing, it was like a 3 gig file. And then I upload it to the Google Drive, and we're already almost at limit, like because you only get 15 gigs. So I've got other stuff in there. So
Why would it be so big? Is it just that blurring technology?
I'm guessing maybe, again, I don't know. I've never done video editing before, but maybe if we can try a different method or something, or maybe there's a way to like compress it to store it, but that's definitely going to become a problem very quickly. And I don't really know how to handle it. Like, how big would like the video editing you've done in the past with those?
Mario Kart videos. Yeah, I mean those were like some of the streams and stuff are like 30 minutes. I don't have it. So I don't have it on my new laptop, but like they
Yeah,
definitely.
the streams. Yeah, so our original stream was like less than it was. I want to say like 500 megabytes.
Yeah, like that makes sense.
So I'm thinking it must be that masking like technology or whatever, just must eat up a ton. But then it also could be as soon as you start adding. My guess is as you add, so you would duplicate the audio or the video track,
Yeah.
so you could have layers, right, to mask certain things. And then I'm assuming each one of those adds a level of like doubles the file size probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We can look into that. Like maybe I can also try doing it on maybe Adobe and then just see if it's like massive as well.
yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what do you think for next steps we'll do?
Like I think if we well, so I guess one question is so like obviously so let's just for I don't know, for ease of hypotheticals, say we're gonna run with trying our best with not quite ready and I can't even remember the other one now.
Hey, let's just do those two, honestly.
Sure. So if we're gonna run with those, how do we like figure out like if there's gonna be an issue with any of them? Because like I know I looked for tryingourbest.com because like I know we want to have a website as well, and it was not taken, but like there's also a decent chance the domain they want like 50 grand for it, which obviously we're not going to do. So then it's like how do we decide which one to go with if we think both are equally good names? What's going to be the factor that like maybe eliminates one other than like just the domain?
Yeah, I think also creating the account names on social, I guess, but I think we can work around the names. We're about to get cut off here, by the way, for Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think we can just check the domains real quick. The domains, I think we should be able to work around. Just add podcast at the end or something. Or
Yeah.
I'm not that concerned about the domain. I think the social media accounts might be a little harder, like on Spotify or YouTube. I think would be probably the two we'd start with.
I'm just going to quickly look on YouTube, trying our best. Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of songs. Oh, I realize we're off. Hey.
Okay. I can't remember what I was talking about.
So I think we were just like thinking about how we would eliminate one name versus the other.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think we should do two concepts. Maybe just think roughly what a logo might look like, but I think we can do a quick check of domains and social account availability, and then also just ask people what they think, and then pick one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either way it's going to be like super
We can
consequential.
flip a coin.
I think they both have like a similar connotation, and probably trying our best is a little bit more like weird,
Yeah.
but it's also a little more memorable. I think so.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely like I'm just trying not to lean too much into the one idea where then you stop pushing yourself. So
Yeah. Well, so and then logo, like, and like vibe and everything. Like, I mean, I know you've got a background in graphic design, so you have, and you got your sister as well is into it. But like, what's I don't know. What do you want to do for that? Like, do you want to try AI generator? Do you want to try doing it ourselves? Do you want to try hiring someone? Like, what are you thinking?
I think we just like really rough sketch some ideas
Yeah.
and we can just see where it goes. For the AI generated part, I think for the logo, it's going to be tough. I think it maybe if we decide we want like a mascot or some sort of visual, like something unique,
Yeah.
then we can play around with it and just see what we can come up with, or like whatever. I don't know, just kind of making it like the templates or things like that might be where AI stuff. I want to play around with Midjourney. I haven't used it before, but it costs money, so I have to be serious about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fair. There does feel like something a little like un, I don't know, not unethical is not the right, but soulless using AI logo generator. But
it's funny to me though, of just like having just like the worst AI thing as your like mascot. I don't know.
yeah,
It could
I mean
just
that's
it can also be funny if it's like done in a way where it's clearly like intentional, I guess. But
which does kind of make me think like if we're talking about graphics for like the video, like it would be kind of funny to is there AI video generator? Like, can you do like stupid cartoons? Because it would be kind of funny if we
uh,
just had some like moronic AI mascot, and then like the video was just like him or her, I guess, doing like just like walking around or like shooting a
yeah,
basketball or something.
yeah, no, that could make like a funny intro clip actually, or like intro or outro is just like a little a like weird AI
Yeah,
clip. There's definitely I'll have to look into see what people are using, but I know
we
it's definitely
so immediately skew to like just so like childish and like it just you just see it just both our eyes light up. Like,
like
what if
we
it's
got
like
it.
a bear that like is like riding a broomstick? And it's just like no, this is um but yeah, no, I mean I think that that could be on a serious note, it is an awesome idea and I think we should do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else I can think of. Like, so we're gonna progress like finalizing the name, try and think about like website and logo. Maybe think about like an intro clip. And then